Vaginaville TV, where the vagina's at. I make pussies do magical tricks. Vaginaville's not a diss, it's a city with lots of clits and vaginal lips. You better get your education, or you'll be the next design over the CN Tower, waiting for some penetration. Beat the craft, take a chick with a decent ass, covered with Vaginaville abs so you can see the badge. From tees to hats, sponsoring half the country. Call him the pusher man cause he has the stuff if you have the money. We keep vaginas as a monument. Trees, dicks, ricks, king of the dot and big mouth honored with a sponsorship. Fuck Mrs. Right cause I ain't trying to fight her. I'd rather chill with a pussy czar with designer vagina.
I'm sure Russell Peters' favorite DJ. Where he goes, you see Russell Peters, you see DJ starting from scratch right there. I mean, he's been voted TO's #1 DJ. Toronto Nightclub Awards winner, DJ 2004, 2005. Source Awards, he takes that, man. He's so, I mean, I can't even, I wanted to vote for him this year, I can't even vote for him. That's how famous he is.
Stylus, you decided.
Yeah, the Stylus Awards, man.
No, you just said Source.
Did I say Source?
You said Source.
Well, you know, he's been on Source magazine. He's been everywhere, man.
I was going to correct him, but it's his show. So.
But you know, I just want to say welcome, man. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm always good. I'm always working, so I'm good. It's nice to sit down for a second.
For sure, man. Of course, you know, if people don't know, he's the guy who always spins that traffic mix show, man. Doing it on Flow 93.5, 5 to 6.
5 to 6, 7 to 7:35, Monday to Friday.
That's what it is, man.
He does a mixtape every day. It's called the Traffic Show.
One every day,
Live.
man.
Live.
That's pretty good, man. And of course, DJs, you know, they always come up with, you know, a variety of nicknames. You know, a lot of them don't go by their own names, like from Cool Herc, you know, Respect, Funk Master Flex, and everything like that. What made you want to come up with DJ starting from scratch? What was that?
Just you know, you need a name or a moniker to go by. You can't really use the real name stuff.
Right.
You try to keep your entities separate. So it was early. It was in high school days. I was just looking for something to do. Started to pick up the DJing slowly but surely.
Okay.
And then it just started to pick up for me very fast.
Okay.
So then people were always like, "Oh, what's your DJ name?" And I was like, At some point, I guess I need to come up with something, and I didn't want to do the cheesy stuff. So I don't know. I was just searching through records and stuff to kind of get something to spark it off, and it ended up just being something in a TV guide. I was just flipping. This is how old it was.
Okay.
We actually had paper TV guides.
Hey, we do remember those. We do remember those. Those were the good.
So yeah, it was just something that I was just flipping through it, and then it was like it was the name of this children's special, like some after-school special. And it was just starting from scratch in big, bold, black letters, and had that like moment. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that.
All right. That's
Stuck.
good, man. That's what it is. Of course, where are you from, man? You know, I'm curious. I don't even know where you're from, so I just had to ask. That's my curiosity.
I'm the atypical white guy.
Okay.
White French from Montreal.
Okay, from Montreal. All right. And what was that moment that you decided to be a DJ?
I mean, my interest struck when I was in Montreal because I used to hear DJs on the radio all the time, but I never knew what a DJ was because I'd never seen a DJ until I actually moved up to Toronto.
Okay.
And then it was just in the high school circuit. Just you know, some of my friends were doing it, and I was like, hey, that looks cool. And then
You just got all
from the first time I got to know the turntable, it's been good to me ever since.
Okay. Now, was it something that you were self-taught, or did you go to lessons?
Yeah, predominantly self-taught. I mean, I would take bits and pieces from people, but I always wanted to try and learn as much myself so I'd be different. Because you know, when someone trains you, you tend to do what they do and so forth. So, yeah, I was just like, I used to spend like 8-9 hours in my room every day just listening to records and trying to copy how the DJs were scratching on the records, and then listening to mixtapes that I had from other DJs and trying to do a lot of stuff they did, but trying to incorporate like different music because my upbringing with music was all over the place.
Right.
So I tried to incorporate as much as I could in one session, which always made sense to me. And I never understood why people would just stick with one type of music. So.
Right. Okay, and speaking of influences, who are some of those influences, be it DJ-wise or be it musically?
The music list is way too long, but DJ-wise, I mean, my ultimate two is always Kid Capri and Jazzy Jeff. So.
Okay, and what are some of the things that you take from them that you, I mean,
well, I'm
try
glad
to
you
put a
asked.
twist on it.
Capri, I mean, I was exposed to Jazzy Jeff. Pause on that one. Let's get that out of the way first. I was exposed to Jazzy Jeff before Kid Capri just because of the Fresh Prince, all that stuff, right? So the thing that always caught me with Jazzy Jeff was these technically the best DJ I've ever heard.
Okay.
So just from cutting to mixing and everything, he does it so seamlessly. So I always adapted that, and I made sure to myself, I was like, this is the model that I want to be after. And then the first time I saw Kid Capri live, he just blew me away, because technically not the best, you know, pretty sloppy, but typical American DJ, chop and drop, yelling, drop and chop and drop. But the main thing I took from him was aggressiveness. So what he taught me is like, no matter who else you're DJing with or who else is on the show, if you're opening for Michael Jackson or performing after Michael Jackson, it doesn't matter. You have to have impact yourself, or else you never existed, and it doesn't matter. And being in the DJ world, you're usually on a bill with 3 or 4 other DJs.
Right.
So I just adapted his aggressiveness and just, you know, making sure that people remember that you were actually DJing at that time. You know what I mean? And I'm not a mic man.
Right.
So he's got that to his advantage. So I have to kind of incorporate both of them.
Right.
And it's been working so far.
Don't let Flex from scratch say new shit, new shit.
Let's not talk about that.
Oh, damn. That's what Flex would say.
Ask me whatever you want. Flex is my dude. It's all.
Now, of course, you know, when it comes to scratching on vinyl, there are many different types of scratches, you know, starting from the simple baby scratch that goes on in regards to that, to more complicated flare scratches among, you know, other ones. Are there any type of scratches that you particularly stick to when you're doing your scratches on vinyl, or is it something that you just incorporate all of them, or are there favorites?
I've never been a turntablist, never could do tip tricks and all that stuff, never could do all these crabs and all the stuff that other guys do. I'm just a rhythm scratcher.
Okay.
I just kind of, whatever goes on in my head, I'll just kind of let it come out that way. I'm just, sorry, these people doing the flips.
No worry, I was distracted.
They look young, so I gotta focus in. But yeah, I'm just a rhythm scratcher. I'm a very rhythmic musical dude, so I'm not saying I'm not into it as a fan, but for myself, it just never interested me to learn all that stuff. So I just kind of, I mix a lot. I'm, you know what I mean? I always practice mixing, so rhythm scratching for me fits in best with what I do.
Okay. All right. Now, of course, I'm sure throughout your 2 decades, if you want to say, doing it for a very, very long time, your association with DJing, you've had a lot of words of advice from people and stuff like that. What are probably one or two things that, you know, someone's told you that you've held dearly from the time you started all the way up to now?
There's a lot. I mean, I guess for the most part, it's people telling me early on when I was young, you know, with the trusting of people and all that stuff, learning the business.
Right.
So I've gone through that many times, you know, get stepped on, and now I've developed into this lovely prick that I've become today, business-wise. So yeah, I mean, that was huge for me. And then just the uniqueness, like, people took to it real early, and they always used to tell me, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, don't worry about how everybody else is doing it.
Right.
Just keep your style, keep doing what you're doing, and, you know, it'll work for you. So, and it has.
All right, for sure. Now, of course, maybe this might be a bit of a crazy question, but it's a question nonetheless.
No such thing.
In regards to the definition of a DJ, what would you think your definition of a DJ would be?
Nowadays, that I have no clue, to be honest. Nowadays, I mean, technically anybody with an iPod can technically be a DJ, you know what I mean? So I think I'm the wrong person to ask for this one. But I mean, yeah, there's so many different types of DJs. I get into this conversation about this topic a lot. Yeah, there's, I mean, I think that term is just like saying rapper. Like, is Pitbull a rapper?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, the term gets thrown around so loosely that, you know, if a guy rhymes 3 words together, he's a rapper.
Right.
So if you technically put one song on your, you know, whatever, on your iPod, and you have another one on a CD, and you play them one after another, are you technically a DJ?
Right.
You know what I mean? To some people, you may be. I mean, guys get away with murder out there right now.
Which is very true.
No more DJ envies, please.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons. I mean, exactly what you said. I mean, Envy's not bad, but like guys like Clue and stuff, they're not DJs. You know what I mean? Like,
Who kid?
yeah, classic example. But, yeah, all these guys, but you know, they use the term and
it's just
destroys it for the real DJs.